What's up, tricksters and tricksettes, and welcome to another Tier 3 sub VOD review presented by your favorite raiding coach, CHARLATAN Papito. Today at our coaching table, we have our friend Kura, who is a Omen main, playing on Haven, and he is the Ascendant 2 peak. You know, this is a Diamond 3 VOD review, but we're gonna call it Ascendant, because he's a peak Ascendant 2 player and he doesn't play that much. Fuck it. Fuck it. Okay, so let's see what our friend Kura presented today. Hello, Charlatan. Hello. This is my first VOD submission for you, and in the game, I play Omen. I felt like I did a pretty good job, but there still was some improvement things I could have done better. I did some basic IGLing on attack and a bit on defense, and I will provide you the calls in the comments of this thread, and also my solo play ideas and reasoning behind them. My dude literally... we don't need to watch the VOD. We can just read this and that's it. Okay. Good. It's good. I'm 2 times, 2 times back to back. 1993, 1994, huh? 2 times Ascendant 2 peak player on 2 accounts while mainly playing solo queue with an okay win rate stats. In the season I picked Ascendant 2. Right now I struggle a bit, and hopefully this VOD review can give me the direction I need to go to get towards immortal consistent Ascendant. My goal for Valorant is becoming a consistent 1000 plus rank rating player with 1.2 KD. And be as good as I can mechanically and game sense-wise, both as an individual and IGL team player. Listen, you know, I usually tell to players that I coach, you know, your goal is to reach Radiant always. You know, you should never satisfy yourself by getting Ascendant, Immortal, Diamond, or something like that. Your goal is to be a Radiant player. But becoming a consistent 1000 plus rank rating player with 1.2 KD, you better be ready to grind this game. You better be ready to play this video game every single day for like 15 hours for the next year, if that is your goal. By the way, you also need to find a good duo for that, because ranked solo queue, reaching 1000 rank rating is impossible in Valorant. Literally impossible. Reason is very simple. MMR system and the ranked solo queue gorillas that you're gonna approach. Because already on this account, when you get Immortal 3, you'll be getting like plus 15, plus 18 and losing like 20, 25. But I respect the goal, you know? Very good. Basically, even if you get Radiant, you're not gonna be disappointed. You know, Radiant is enough for now. And that's what I would recommend you to focus on. Now, being as good as mechanically and game sense-wise, you know, sky is the limit. Well, you know, actually, your skill ceiling is the limit. We'll see how far you can progress and what's gonna happen with you. Like, the thing is, like, you know, what you said right here is something that only like 0.0001% of players in Valorant can achieve. As I already said, like, I love your dream, I love your goal, like, very good that you have, you know, high standards, but even if you get Radiant, like, you should not feel disappointed. Like, 99.9% of players in Valorant never touch Radiant as well. We'll see how far you can progress and what's gonna happen with you. Why? For the love of the game. I love ranked and being competitive. I enjoy solo queue in all games and IGL regardless if my team listens or not. Or if they are toxic, I just mute everyone and continue to communicate my plans and never give up till it's over. Absolute. Brother, like this. I swear to God, juice smelled better. Don't ban me, please. Like, don't, like, come on, you know. Come on. If I disappear tomorrow, you just know why. Okay. Going pro is something I maybe want to do, but ranked is more important to me as of right now, and getting good at my passion, aka competitive FPS video games. Okay, fine. You know, this is also a good mindset. This is also a good mindset. Like, anyways, like, you know, if you want to go pro in Valorant, you first need to develop yourself as a really, really strong individual player. And you need to find some kind of a value that you can offer to teams. So yeah, nice. I train my mechanics every day, weekly. So you train your mechanics every day, weekly review my clips, VOD review every second month. Custom game practice 2 times a week. Should do more of all of them. I love it that he has a, you know, if he does 2 VOD reviews per month, he's just gonna be like, instant death, like, it's forbidden. But okay, good, you know, good. You're already doing more than like 99% of Valorant community to get better, so thumbs up for you. I want to fully master Jet, Raze, and Omen, and eventually master Yoru, Veiley, and Chamber, but that's for the future. Have a good day and happy VOD reviewing. Listen, like, all 6 of these agents share very similar, like, playstyle, strategies, setups, positioning, and mindset. Very good roster, I'm not gonna lie, but since you're like Diamond Ascendant, it would be really good if, you know, if you just lock yourself onto maximum 3 agents at this moment of time. Like, maximum. You know, we can leave maybe Yoru, Veiley, and Chamber a bit later. This roster right here is already pretty Gucci, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I would replace Raze with either Yoru or Veiley, because as you go higher in terms of the rank, Yoru and Veiley become a bit more useful and viable as well. So maybe we'll see now. Let's check the tracker. You know, why do we talk without checking it? Okay, so we've been stuck in Diamond for quite some time. Then we got into Ascendant 2, and now we are Diamond 3. You're probably gonna get Ascendant 1 this act without any problems. And second account, same. Is this the same account? Yeah, he literally just sent me like the same account 2 times, huh? Yeah, my dude just sent me like the same account 2 times. Aim higher. Thank you for the Prime Gaming sub, and thank you for scamming Jeff Bezos, and enjoy the playbook on Discord server. Okay, so we only have 1 account, I guess, to review. Okay, listen, when it comes to the playtime, this is not enough for the goals that you've set for yourself. And it's definitely not enough to reach Radiant, you know, in the shortest amount of time. When I say shortest amount of time, I mean like, you know, during this year, for an example. The playtime of like 42, 34, like 47, 75, 45 hours, like, that's a pretty good playtime. You know, as basically, what is a good playtime in Valorant? As long as you can play 2 to 3 ranked games per day, every single day, is good. Like, you should see some significant progress and significant improvement in terms of, you know, your individual skills as a player, and in terms of your rank as well. And if you're already doing that, and you're not improving, time to get coaching. I'm joking, just you know, time to do something different, you know, like time to self-reflect a bit, time to practice a bit and see, you know, what's going wrong. Okay, we did brute force a bit into Diamond 1. Okay, and then since then, a bit of a slippery slope type of ride. Okay. Overall, not that bad. Acts are a bit shaky. Sometimes we play good, sometimes we play like shit. Okay. This act, I'm not gonna lie, things do look a bit horrendous. But they look horrendous because you're not only playing Jet. You know, like, with a Jet, like, for an example, like, all of your Jet stats, except the KST, which is horrible, horrendous, like, you're dying so many times alone, you don't exist in your games that you play. My dude is spectating more than playing the match. With Jet, like, everything except KST is really good, you know? And I don't know, you know, if you're already such a good Jet player, I don't know why the fuck would you even touch Raze for an example. Or any other duelist for now. You know, Jett is life, Jett is everything, Jett is waifu. Like, Jett is still one of the best agents to get better at Valorant and to solo carry. Like, I would simply recommend to you that you go with a Jett. And what he said, he wants to main like Jett, Raze, Omen, Yoru, Valiant, Chamber. Listen. When it comes to your playtime, I don't know if you have enough time to actually truly master the Omen. You know, Omen really requires very consistent and high playtime if you want to figure out all of the setups, all of the strategies, all of the tactics, timings, etc, etc. It's still one of the best agents in Valorant, but considering your a bit limited playtime, I would probably go with maybe Jett, Chamber, and maybe squeeze in Vele or Yoru there, depending, you know, what suits your playstyle the best. We'll see after this VOD review, like, what I'm actually gonna recommend to you. But I really don't see a reason why would you play Raze if you already play Jett so good, like. I mean, it makes no sense. I mean, you can literally play Jett on every map. Okay. When it comes to the stats, this act, as already mentioned, like, everything is horrendous. Like, this act, but if we take in account your Raze and Omen arc, you know? Like, when it comes to your Jett gameplay, like, it's pretty good. And you can probably abuse your Jett, like, for a very, very long period of time. Your mechanical stats are also pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie, for an Ascendant player. Your weapon versatility is underwhelming. Like, you need to give some more love to, like, Judge, Bandit, Outlaw, Bulldog, Shorty, Operator. How do you have 10 kills with Op? And you're playing Jett, Raze, and Omen, you know? Bucky, Odin, Marshall, Stinger. Work on that a bit, you know, like, especially if your goal is to be like a 1000 rank rating player. You better be ready to abuse every single weapon at the right moment of time. Weapon versatility, mega giga important if you want to have the highest possible chances of reaching Radiant. When it comes to your loadouts and, you know, round performance, in semi and eco rounds, you just don't exist. You literally don't exist, bro. So in semi and eco rounds, we can probably do something better. Maybe in terms of the strategies and tactics that you use, maybe in terms of the weapons and economy as well. Pistol rounds and full barrel rounds are pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. You know, the only thing that you're lacking in pistol rounds and full barrel rounds is that your KST is horrible, and it can be much better. You know, like, you can get a bit, you can survive a bit more. You know, you can survive a bit more or be traded a bit more times from your allies, or play on a refrag game and stuff like that. Like, the good KST is in between 73 and 76%. That's like, okay, good. 68%, horrible. Now listen. How many games do you have on Omen? Actually, that's something I didn't see. 193 hours. Okay. No. Let's see what you can do better on Omen. If Omen actually suits you as a player. But if I was you, and I already played a Jett like this, you know, I wouldn't really complicate things too much. You know, Jett main, Omen flex fill, flex agent, and maybe chamber fill. And that's it. I really don't see a reason to play, like, you know, Raze, Vele, and Yoru if you're already so good on, you know, Jett. I mean, so good, like, you can probably be better, but you get the point. Also, like, when we scroll through these acts, in every single act, like, you're dying more than you need to die. You know, like, we probably have some huge problems when it comes to team play, when it comes to scaling, pathing, and positioning that we need to fix at this moment of time. Okay, clutch percentage abysmal. Situational awareness pretty low. First blast, first death's not good. I mean, this whole act is simply not good for you, so we'll see what you can do better for this act. Attacker. Okay, on defense, you're like, okay, whatever. But attack. Jesus Christ, man. Like, if I was you, I would literally put all of my time when it comes to VOD reviewing, when it comes to getting better, when it comes to practicing, into getting better on the attacker side. Like, your attacker side is just, Jesus Christ. Okay. Is Kuro his name? Kura, okay, sorry. My bad. Okay, general points, attack points, and defense points. Okay, Kura, let's see what you can do better. And if Omen actually suits you, or you should just throw it in the bin and just call it a day and lock in the jet. But considering that you already played Omen a lot, you know, probably, you know, it's a good agent for you. Like, maybe you just had a bit of an unlucky act, because in this act, like in 13 matches that you played, you dropped a really strong performance on Omen. And really good. I'm not gonna lie. Okay. So, Omen, Diamond Ascendant, Haven. Chat, let me see the chat first. One guy in the chat said, like, let me just scroll a bit up. One guy in the chat said, just a moment. Well, I cannot find it now. Oh, the chat is active today. Finally. Finally! Some activation from you guys. Does anyone know if CHARLATAN does free VOD reviews like how Wukujin did back in the... Yes. Like, you join my Discord server. And every single week, I make the raffles, the giveaway, for free coaching. Tier 2 Discord subs, Tier 3 Discord sub, private, some coaching you can get. So you just join these raffles and that's it. By the way, chat, today we have a giveaway for coaching because Lucifer gave up on his reward because he's not playing Valorant anymore. So after this VOD review, I'm gonna make a giveaway and we're just gonna choose a random guy from the Twitch chat. Twitch chat. Okay. Let me just do this here. When it comes to predictions, we can immediately start, like, are they gonna win the first round? So you can earn some points. Do they win the first round? Yes, no. Okay. Okay. What's up with the late stream? It's not late. It's like 9 PM. When do you go to sleep? Like 7? Does anyone know how to play with once you're sub? You need to connect your Twitch account or YouTube account with your Discord account. You'll get an automatic role and that's it. You know? What's a good clutch percentage? 4 to 6% overall. Why not Raze? I mean, yeah, the map's not good for Raze, but maybe if Jet not available, maybe go with Raze. There's no reason to go with Raze. You know, there's no reason to go for the Raze. Like, if you're already very good Jet main, why would you do that? Okay. Nothing important. Isn't Yoru very auto-dependent? Why would he want to fill it? He didn't say he wanted to fill with Yoru. He said that he wants to main Yoru and master Yoru in the future. But I really think that for Kura, for our friend Kura, like, if I was this guy, I would just spam Jet, Omen, and Chamber until I get Immortal 3. And then from Immortal 3, I would just be like, okay, maybe it's time to expand the pool a bit and shift into different directions. But okay. Oh no. Not the replay system. Not the replay system, bro. Fuck. Okay. Custom options, cheats on, done. Yo, I was immortal on console. You think I could hit diamond on PC fast? I don't know. You know, like I really don't know, man. Like reaching Radiant on console is pretty easy, in my opinion. So I really don't know, man. I really have no idea.
My ultimate is ready.
Okay. So
30 seconds left.
same as with any other VOD review that we do. First thing you ask yourself, what is the map that I'm playing? How should I play that map? What is the enemy team comp? What is my team comp? And what should I expect and do about it? So, Haven. Haven is a slow rotation map on a defender's side. Basically, from the round number 5, your rotations need to be based on certain information that you gathered in that round or in the previous rounds. You cannot just rotate however and whenever you want. But in the first 4 rounds, you should be doing the fast rotations on the first contact between your and enemy team before we, gather enough information on how the enemies are actually attacking. Now, on Haven, your default site, number 1 priority, A site, number 2 C site, number 3 B site. But hear me out. First round, you always play on A, and you always gamble on the A site. Second round, no matter if you win or lose the first round, you always play in the garage, and you keep the garage control and play fast rotations between C and B. Why? On Haven, whenever enemies on the attacker side
Surprise, motherfucker!
are eco halberd or bonus, chances are 80% that some contact between your team and enemy team is gonna happen here. Not some contact, like the first contact, where your teammates have very high chances of making some kind of a mistake and dying. Now, on Haven, whenever you have no idea where the enemies are gonna go next, what are the enemies gonna do, your whole team is playing passively, just start either in garage or on the B side, and simply play fast rotations left and right. Now, in the first round with Omen, obviously, classic shorty strategy. Like, just drop a shorty here, get a classic, and you can get either a light shield with 1 shrouded steps, or you can go for 2 smokes, paranoia, and 1 shrouded steps. Now, let me just change my crosshair. So, the round starts, you shuffle and jiggle the weapons like this. With only 2 drops, you end up in this position, holding this angle, and deleting an enemy for free. If enemies are droning you or something like that, you can deploy a smoke like this, play in this corner, dodge the enemy's recon abilities, fuck up the enemies, and you can either go for an aggressive play or just reset yourselves towards the site and defend the site together with your teammates. Now, I fully covered, how should you play this strategy and all of the variations of this strategy in the ranked playbook on my Discord server, and you have the access to that playbook, obviously. What if they don't have a Sen? Go see first round, it's wrong. Yes, it's wrong. Why should you always play A set in the first round of Haven? 60% of times, based on, raw coaching data, in the first round, enemies are gonna push A. 60% of times in ranked solo queue, on average. Now, second problem of Haven is that A site is at least 3 times harder for the retake than B site and C site. You're retaking the site through very, very small choke points. There's enormous amount of crossfire positions on the A site, and good luck with that. Akame, thank you for a tier 1 sub, and enjoy the playbook. Hi, I'm a returning player. Was a previous Diamond 1 player, and now I'm on Diamond 2 now, but is there any tips to hit Ascendant? My number 1 tip for you would be the following. onto my Discord server, apply everything from these free guides right here, and you get Ascendant. Also, on my second YouTube channel, check a few VOD reviews of Diamond players and Platinum and Ascendant players that I coached, and basically, you can just call it a day. Now, let's see what PRX Kura is gonna do. My dude is already signed. I'm not sure why. I used to juggle weapons perfectly, but now always classic falls where enemies can see. Listen, so people have a problem with this juggling mechanic. Listen, so you always start the round with a classic pistol in hands because you don't want the classic to disappear. You drop a shorty here, and now you always aim up high, so the weapon drops like this. Whoosh. Nikola Jokic, brother. Like all the way there. And you're basically pressing a W key, doing one more drop, then another one, and that's it. And you just play here. Like our friend Kura, for an example. What's really going to be important right now? So, enemy team compositions. Let's talk about that. Team comps in general. So, your team comp on the defender side is okay. We don't lack anything, to be honest. We can create some double bait and triple bait setups with our jet. That's also good, something that we should note down. And we just need to pay attention, what type of utility Killjoy is deploying on the map. Because I can already see on the minimap, like, Killjoy's setup is horrendous. Like, literally, we have nothing for the B site. This C site turret is horrible. We need to correct that. And we need to tell the Killjoy, brother, can you do a different setup? Now,
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Brother, Inoir!
Hey CHARLATAN, イムイムゲームプレイクライシス、イムプラにデュエリストメインズオブ、ジェット&夜ウェアマイプロブレムズユージュアリーテンド、ツースティックビトウィーンメンタル&メカニックス、I do have hard time フィギュアリング、アウトマイプロ
Yeah, I mean, like that's good, man. That's good. Just a second. Let me show you some images. Just a moment. So when you're doing VOD reviews, just a moment. What the fuck, bro? Where is it? Where is it, bro? Just a moment. I cannot leak my Pornhub account. So listen, like, when you're reviewing yourself and when you're reviewing your own mistakes in Valorant, like, these are some of the questions that you can ask yourself. I'm gonna share it with you, and you can just pause the stream on YouTube to read it later. So basically, these are the ability usage questions, mechanical questions, positioning questions, and teamwork questions. These questions can help you a lot to basically, like, just have a bit better self-reflection. Hit me up on Discord. I can share you these images, like, on Discord later. Okay, so what's going to be very important here for our friend Kuramumochi is so enemy team composition. What I was speaking about, the fucking Killjoy. So basically, with Killjoy, in the first round, you need to have a turret that is placed here and that sees both enemies in the garage and C-long as well. You cannot put this turret here that only sees the C-link, I mean the outer garage, and the C-long area of the map. Like, the perfect killjoy setup on this map is simply like putting...
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
ユーツーフルタイムカレッジ&ワーキング、アイドゥラックインコンシステンシーズ、オブバランシングアウトフォワット、I can get out スルーアウトザデー、I am down to, work which you ask you tips or tricks for, a good routine.
It's really up to you, man. It's really up to you, man. Literally. Like, you can get some free coaching through giveaways. We can do some private coaching. It's really up to you. You can also ask me some questions here, like... I need to focus on the VOD review now. Now, so, when you have Killjoy in the team on Haven, the perfect Killjoy setup is turret right here that looks towards the garage and C-long as well, and the alarm bot in the beam. No, thank you for the bits, man. Thank you for the bits. Like, just you know, ask me the questions. Like, I answer on. I read every message like on chat on the right side. Now, when it comes to the enemy team comp, they have Cypher. So basically, like, you know, when it comes to Cypheroni, maybe going for some flanks and lurks is not a good idea. Not a good idea in the early rounds. We need to track where the enemy Yoru is putting his teleports and setups during the executes. And, you know, they have a Sky, so whenever we play some kind of a shotgun strategy or close-range strategy, we need to outmaneuver that dog and Sky recon abilities with the Kabi position smokes. So right now, you know, like, if you're getting droned in this position here by the Sova drone Sky dog, drop this type of a smoke. You just play here, and at the moment of time when the Sky dog is doing this, you simply enter the smoke and be ready to F up the enemies. But you cannot stay in this position if the Sky dog is gonna reveal you, and you'll have to shoot it with 1 or 2 bullets of the shorty. Then, you know, this strategy is just absolutely pointless if you allow that. That timing is hard to get down. It's not. Like, it's really not. Like, you can easily do it based on sound and very consistently.
Cover going out.
You cannot do this type of play with this classic pistol shorty strategy. Like, when you're playing here with the shotguns and enemies are revealing you, you need to do this smoke, brother. You just have to do it. And this is the only way how you can outmaneuver the enemy's recon abilities. And you cannot put a smoke here and then just run through it. Also, this play that you're doing here is mega dangerous. Because if an enemy, like, let's say, if an enemy was already here, that guy would have deleted you. But okay. I always respect a bit of aggression. Now listen, like, when you get a kill like this, and your teammates still have the A-side control, you make a huge numbers advantage. We are 4v2. Just dip out. Dip out, call it a day. Your job is literally done. Pick up the classic pistol, reconnect with your teammates, and ask yourself what is your next objective. So right now, we gathered the spike for our team. We can just pick up the classic pistol, reconnect with our jet in the long, try to pick up maybe a ghost or better weapons from the enemies in the A-long, and be a juggernaut in this round. You have a ghost bandit with a light shield, 1 shrouded step, we have a spike there, we play on a perfect refrag potential. This round should be in the bag.
Spike down A.
Now, of course, you can also stay in short, but the problem is the problem here is that, you know, you can die without your teammates being able to refrag you from long. But since since our Killjoy moved towards the jet in A long, okay, you know, we can stay here. But you know what's very important here is that you cannot get the first contact with the enemies. You know, in this type of a crossfire setup, when you fight the enemies from the A short, you need to let your jet and killjoy get the first contact. Otherwise, you know, there's no reason to pick this 50-50. You just stay here, passively, you know, prepare yourself with a movement, positioning and crosshair placement to swing out like this, and that's it. Okay, I mean, our teammates are running it down, so sure.
One enemy remaining.
Good Kyle. Okay, not bad, not bad. Pretty good round. Now, second round of Haven, especially if you win the first round, you always play in the Garagius Rex, in the garage. Now, hear me out. So, you saved the sheriff from the first round. When you save the sheriff in the first round with Omen, it's kinda a nonsense getting the outlaw in the second round, unless the map is, you know, some kind of a long-range map such as Abyss and Breeze. The reason is, like, you know, you can simply combine this sheriff with a heavy shield, judge, and utility, and you have a weapon for every range, every fight.
Surprise, motherfucker.
And extremely high chances of winning the third bonus round as well. Which Restless entrance music was this? Skills in pills. What? Now, so basically, like, you know, since you already took the sheriff, yeah, the sheriff, heavy shield, judge, we can just play in this position here. You hear the enemies in the garden, and in the mid area of the map, you just do this smoke, and now through this smoke we can dodge the sky dog, or we can simply hold the smoke like this and just be ready to get the enemies out of here. Now listen, obviously you're not making a mistake by buying buying the outlaw, by buying the marshal, sorry. But still, you're just risking. You're just buying a weapon that is a bit underwhelming for the third bonus round. You know, like, for example, you win this round with Omen with a judge and sheriff. You get in a third bonus round with a judge and sheriff. But you have such a high chance of winning the third round, like, literally, there is absolutely no reason to save this, you know, to do this with Omen. If you were playing Chamber or Jet or something, you know, it's fine, whatever. Omen is a master of shoving up the shotguns into the enemy's ass. So this is that weapon versatility that you're kind of lacking in your gameplay at this moment of time. Also, there is never a moment of time in your gameplay where in the second round you play with a fucking light shield. Okay, hear me out. So, you wanna get in a second round, you wanna buy the marshal, you get a heavy shield. You wanna play judge, you get a heavy shield. You wanna play bulldog, you get a heavy shield. Stinger, heavy shield. Spectre, heavy shield. Ares, heavy shield. Who the fuck buys Ares? The only times when you play with a light shield in the second anti-eco round is if you save that light shield from the first round, or you bought the outlaw and you don't have money for a better shield, and you just want to play outlaw with a light shield, for an example. And that's it. You want to play marshal, sheriff, utility in this round, you get a heavy shield as well. You need to do that. Like, why the hell did we win the first round just to have only 25 HP more than enemies. To be, you know, especially now that Bandit is there. Brother, like, if the enemies force up a few bandits or sheriffs, you're not gonna have a fun time, you know, playing with a light shield in this round. Okay, how should you position in this second round with a sniper? So, I always say, you always want to figure out how to hold the initial angles as some kind of an off angles, tight positions, safe positions where you can either surprise the enemies or live to fight another day. Like, your first fight in Valorant should never be your last fight. Ever. Unless you're playing some eco round and you just wanna, you know, trade yourself for a few kills with a shorty, classic bandit, etc, etc. Now, this position right here is really, really good to play it as an safe off angle. Like, for an example, if you position in the window like this and you hold this angle, no one is gonna kill you. Literally, no one is gonna even have a chance to kill you. And all you have to do in this second round with a Marshal is just go for the body shots. So we don't need to be super precise and hit some insane headshots. You just play this off angle, like this, more towards the right side. Aim here. Your eyes are placed there. And as soon as you see the first pixel from the enemies, you take a shot, pull the knife out, and reset behind the cover. And then with the peeker's advantage, we can just engage the enemies and get the second kill, third kill, reposition, etc, etc. This is another reason why I would have recommended you to get a judge with a sheriff that you saved from the first round. You know, like, in this second anti-eco round, chances are the highest that enemies will go either garage or B. Chances are like 80% that's gonna happen. And if enemies go B and you have a Marshal, like, I mean, sure, you can just go for the body shots and some hip fire shots and get easy kills. But if you have a judge and sheriff, I mean, like, that round is practically over for the enemy team. Now here, you know, this is one of the very rare scenarios where you actually want to take a 50-50 against the enemies, because it's literally not a 50-50 because you have a Marshal and enemies don't have a heavy shield. Why would you, you know, why would you smoke this choke point and cuck yourself when you already have a Marshal and you can maybe do this? You don't even have to go for like a headshot. You can just go for one body shot, second body shot, get the enemies out of the server. And then when the enemies smoke you off here, you do this smoke, and, you know, just get ready to fight together with your teammates, wait for them, and just play a retake.
Shadows traveling.
Are the prices negotiable? Unfortunately not. For my private coaching, no. Because I offer a 24/7 support, lifetime, for every single player that I coach, and you'll be abusing me more than 1 month or one session. like just today I reviewed like 30 clips, and that's why I'm late. I was literally reviewing the fucking clips for the last 3 hours, and I came here to coach again. I'm telling you, like, my brain is turning into a potato. Yo, Aspire, we'll see, man.
Stealing sight.
Now listen. Listen. This play that you did right now is completely unnecessary. In a second anti-eco round. You have no idea what is happening behind this clove smoke. Number one. Number two, Why would you risk it so much when enemies are already playing an eco round? We can just fight with this Killjoy from left to right and just abuse the raw gun advantage and refrag potential to get these kills. Like, there's just no reason. You know, this play was not bad. It's just like, whatever. Why would you do, you know, why would you put yourself in this position where you can maybe die on timing, luck, or some shit, you know, something like that? When you can just fight with your teammates, finish this round, and that's it. Also, as I already mentioned, one thing that's really gonna fuck us up in this match is our Killjoy's turret positioning. Like, the Killjoy turret cannot be on top of the seaside here. Like, that's why I always say, like, when you're grinding in ranked solo queue, you need to have a basic understanding of every single agent and most of these setups. Even if you're not playing Killjoy. Like, this is like, literally, we have zero control in Garage. Zero information. If you already have the Killjoy, like, tell that Killjoy brother, like, just do a different turret. Okay, we know that, you know, 2 enemies are now at the backside.
Shadows traveling.
This is, you know, this is the risk that I was speaking about. Like, literally, you could have just played this round from the backside here, fight with the Killjoy, and that's it. No reason to waste paranoia, no reason to waste, like, shrouded steps. Just clean fights. Let me know when you offer discounts. Maybe in the future. You know, like, the only time I would consider offering discounts is if I don't have players to coach or something like that, but I'm pretty much filled, like, consistently. Maybe in the future, like, we'll see. Maybe I make some new coaching programs that are, like, cheaper and less time consuming for me.
Spike planted. One enemy remaining.
Okay. Pretty okay-ish round. Pretty okay-ish round. Like, I mean, your reactions to the enemies, like, execute, sound, utility usage was, like, pretty okay. Nothing really to shit about. Let's move on to the bonus round. Listen. So in the first round, enemies went A. Second round, they did some kind of a fake B push, went C through the garage, whatever. So in this third round, simply based on, you know, what happened in the first 2 rounds, it is too much of a gamble to start on the A side. Like, chances that enemies go A is equal as if they go B or C. So a much better gamble in this round is to simply start on the B side and just play fast rotations between C side and A side. You'll be able to support your teammates in time on every single site and in every single area of the map. Like, your starting positions on the defender side are mega giga important, and they need to be mindful. They need to be based on some info, based on some pattern, based on economy, something. You cannot just rent position however the fuck you want. Because then you'll be, you know, playing a lot of retakes with numbers disadvantage. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Now enemies are going C. By the time that you get the info that enemies are going C, your teammates will already be stormed, and we're, you know, this round is over.
Shadows traveling.
Yeah. Listen, when you're doing smokes on C side, So whenever your teammates are getting pressure onto C site and enemies are playing a full buy round. So this is something that you do only when the enemies are full buy. Always prioritize using this smoke and instantly combining it with this smoke right here. Drop both smokes for your teammates. Like, as long as you have at least 1 or 2 teammates that are playing at the backside and they don't have any specific like setup that they're abusing to counter the enemies. Maybe some crossfire, double tower, I don't know, like some utility setup. Give them this smoke and this smoke. And start rotating. Let's go. Knife out. Rotate.
Spike planted.
How do we have a judge in this round? Like, what the fuck? Wait. So you want to tell me that in the second round you play with a Marshal, Light Shield, and Sheriff, and in the third bonus round you decided to top your Marshal with a Judge instead of saving money for the third and fourth round. This, this economy management just doesn't exist. Nowhere. Like this round, you just play with a Marshal, Sheriff, Light Shield, and all of the utility. And in the next round, we full buy. I mean, in the next round, you can instantly get maybe the Operator as well. Now listen, this round is practically unwinnable. Mainly because of the weapons that we have, but also because we are 2 versus 4. Always remember, your job in eco rounds, and bonus rounds as well, is not to win that round. Especially if, you already have a lot of rounds to work with in the future. It's only 2-0. Your only job right now is to kill as many enemies as possible, save this weapon for the 4th round, damage the enemy's economy, so that if we win the next round, enemies are instantly eco. And they have less utility to work with and less guns to work with in the first full buy round for us. Here you don't need to force anything. Any dumb play, any stupid play, just play the exit frags, play the exit kills, try to kill at least 3 enemies. That is how you ensure that you have the absolutely highest chances of winning the 4th round as well.
Spike planted.
Is that a sticker on the screen? What sticker, bro? Oh yeah, it's his cursor, bro, like mouse cursor.
Shadows traveling.
Jump spotting mechanic, we need to work on that. Like, you already jump spotted a few times during this match. Like, it's just way too slow for you. It should look like this. Like a bit faster. You jump towards the angle, diagonally. You run like this. As soon as you're revealing the angle, you jump, AS, and flick backwards. AS, backwards, and now, Yoru is there. I don't want to fight Yoru. Let's just hold the enemies. And delete them as, with a Judge. Okay, listen, now the tides have shifted. If you end up with this 2v2, by any, now we exploited the enemy's mistakes. They were way too aggressive for no reason, and we got a few, two easy picks. Now, you definitely try to win this round. Once the tides have shifted.
Last player standing.
Blinding.
Even with this jet kill, yeah. Now listen, whenever you're engaging the enemies, from the CT. Like, you never want a path like this. Being fully exposed from this peak, and this peak as well. We know, based on our jet contact, that enemy Sky is here, and Cypher is here. Jet revealed them on the minimap. You drop a Paranoia for the Cypher, you know, or for the Sky, and you're instantly trying to get behind the cover here, so that we can isolate a potential 1v1 fights. Like, you spend, you know,
Blinding.
it just makes absolutely no sense that after this Paranoia, you're walking here, being exposed from two different locations from which enemies can kill you. Scale out. Take a better position for yourself so that you can isolate these two enemies into potential 1v1 duels and fight them only on one angle at a time. Also, like, you know, this is a very common mistake for Omen players. Always pay attention on the smokes timer. We still have around like 20-25 seconds to defuse this spike. Wait these 5 seconds for the smokes to recharge. And now, brother, like, you just need to do this. Do this Paranoia. And we can actually take better fights against the enemies. Enemies cannot, you know, kill us from this position. They can only be stuck in the front side or long. Let's try to kill that Cypher. Let's try to kill that Sky. Isolate better duels instead of running, you know, rushing it out.
Last player standing.
Blinding.
Not to mention that, you know, you had like also 2 shrouded steps. Maybe we could have used these shrouded steps to outplay the enemies. You know, like for example, we can go for our default retake. For example, use a smoke here. Teleport into the smoke. From the smoke, maybe drop a Paranoia. Teleport into this corner. Try to outmaneuver the enemies. Or maybe, you know, after you drop a Paranoia, you can do a fake shrouded steps to reveal the enemies. And then from top of the smoke, just take the easiest fights of your life. With Omen, same as with the Jet and any other agent. If you don't use your utility to the maximum potential when you're fighting the enemies, and you just die in some 50-50 fight, or you die based on luck or timing, you could have done something better. You could have maybe played with the enemy's mind a bit more, create easier fights for yourself, separate the enemies a bit with your utility, and the list goes on. So, what do we know about the enemies so far? We know that they are following the AB pattern of pushing. Like every round they're doing something different compared to the previous round. So in this round, chances that enemies go C is like below 10%, maybe even lower. So once again, a really good gamble in this round, since we already have like two teammates defending the A site, is what? Start on B. You know, we can maybe abuse some kind of an off angle here to like to get a potential pick onto the enemies in window, in garden, and just play fast rotations left and right. But starting on C, once again, like too much of a gamble, bro. Like it just doesn't make any sense compared to what enemies did in the previous 3 rounds. Pay more attention on that. Like try to be a bit more present in your games. And ask yourself, did enemies develop any type of a pattern that's gonna make them a bit more readable for us? Once again, on a defender side, you position yourself based on 8 rules. Rule number 1, you position yourself based on the map that you're playing. In the first 4 rounds, your positioning is very strict on a defender side of each map. You have your default sites, default positions, like we also have a lot of data from ranked solo queue that tells us what type of tendencies players have in different ranks and elos, and all of that is explained in the rank playbook. Now, you position yourself based on the economy as well. Enemy economy. and your economy can tell you a lot what enemies are gonna do next. As we predicted the enemies in the second, anti-eco round. Ultimate status can tell you what the enemies are gonna do next. In this match, not that much, but if enemies have the Killjoy ultimate on Haven, most of the times they're just gonna go A, so you need to defend A short with some counter setup. With Omen, what's really good, you just pick up a Judge, heavy shield, you play from A short, smoke this, paranoid this position, and just run it down. You can kill the Killjoy, destroy her ultimate, and save the whole round for your team. Now, the fourth thing is the AB pattern. Fifth thing is the rule of fear. Sixth is the rule of 3 executes. And seventh, if none of these rules and tips are working, you just follow the usual enemy patterns and tendencies that they developed in that game. The main problem of all of the players that are in between, especially in between Gold 1 and Immortal 2, these players are the easiest players to read. Their playbooks are very shallow. Their playstyle is very shallow and very linear. They're way too predictable. If you just use an inch of your brain to self-reflect in the middle of the game. Now, so in this, once again, we have a problem with the initial positioning on a defender side. And I also have a problem. I need to piss, like, just a second. As soon as I get a goop, I'm gonna keep you in the loop. I'm born to play Valorant, forced to piss. Okay, so pay more attention on your initial positioning when it comes to countering the enemies and reading the enemies. Like in ranked solo queue, in almost every match and every round, you wanna be the first contact with the enemy team. You need to guess where the enemies are gonna go. You need to make the right decision. Like on defender side, you need to predict. You need to properly position yourself at least 80% of times if you want to have a good performance on a defender side and actually control the outcome of your rounds and outcome of your games. If you're just randomly positioning yourself however you want, you're not gonna have a fun time on a defender side. But Charlatan, this is a team play game. Like, my teammate... Your teammates are shit. You don't know who you're playing with and against anyways. And it's better for you to learn from your own mistakes rather than learning from Killjoy that doesn't know a basic setup on Haven C site. What do you learn in Valorant if you're just playing retakes 24/7? Nothing. Literally nothing. You learn how to play in a disadvantage 24/7. Okay. Solid positioning. At least that's good. See, like here, if you started on B side, that enemy Clove would already be dead. Because, what I told you at the start of this round, you should have played just on B side, some kind of an off angle like this. Maybe you can just wait for like 2-3 seconds for enemies to peek the window, then surprise them and kill them. Maybe you can hold this window peek from this off angle, reset yourself, continue with the round. Okay, your team has already got the info that enemies are going... There's some enemies in A short. So if your teammates are A short and A long as well, and we know that some enemies are here, it's totally fine if you drop for this Reyna this type of a smoke. Because enemies are obviously right now not doing a 5-man push. Like, if they were doing a 5-man push, our jet would be pressured long time ago. This smoke is totally fine if your teammates are fighting a bit more aggressively from the A short. Enemies need to be very careful when they scale out here, because we can be here, like, they have zero info. So you will probably burn some utility from the enemies before they actually go for an execute.
Cover going out.
Okay, good kill by the UV Corena.
Cover going out.
Good paranoia as well. Based on sound, not bad. And timing, very fucking good.
One enemy remaining. Spike down B. Flawless.
Okay. Not bad. Not bad round. Pretty okie dokie. Except the initial positioning. Okay, so now. Enemies are once again playing an eco halberd round. Once again, you're forced to start around the B set and garage. That's how Haven works, you know? And once again, we can play some off angle in garage or in the B site and just rotate left and right. Once again, we can play a position like this, position like this, position like this. Like, you can play this spot like in maybe 4 different ways. We can also start in the window using this off angle. Maybe starting, you know, in a default way as well. Like trying to get just information for our team and for ourselves. But if we start on the A side and C side, too much of a gamble.
He has already forgotten you.
Too much of a gamble, bro. I really don't fuck with your economy management at all, man. Like, the guy is reinventing the economy management. Like, he is burning dollars more than USA government. I'm not gonna lie. Like, brother stockpiled on cryptocurrency, but, you know, Valorant doesn't support Bitcoin yet. Listen, if you're already gonna... So, getting the outlaw in this round is an amazing idea. Because we know that enemies are eco and halberd based on their economy. And we know that at least 3 enemies are gonna play with a light shield. But drop this Vandal to one of your teammates that maybe died in the previous round. If your teammates didn't die in the previous round, fuck it, then play with a Vandal. You know, you cannot be burning money like this. Like, you know, we lose 2 rounds in a row, we're already playing an eco. Why don't we build a very strong economy, and where we can just play literally a full buy for the rest of this match? Yes, Outlaw is a decent option right now. Just, I mean, it really makes no sense to get it. Because we still don't have a strong economy to burn money like this.
History is already...
What would you advise? What would you advise one to do if teammates tell you to play a certain side from the one you want to play based off information? So tell your teammates to go and fuck themselves. Brother, like, you're playing ranked solo queue. You need to control the outcome of your rounds and games. You need to be present in the game. You need to learn from your own mistakes. You're gonna be a spectator. If you already have a good read onto something, just, you know, trust yourself. Why would you trust your 4 random teammates in ranked solo queue? Ever. Especially if you're below Immortal 3. You never know who you're playing with and against. You don't know how much capable your teammates are. And once again, it's always better for you to learn from your own mistakes rather than being a spectator. You learn nothing from your teammates' mistakes. The only time I would let my teammates navigate me like this, you know, tell me where to do and what, you know, where to go. The only time I will be feeling the positions on the map is when I know that my teammates are better than me. Or I have been fully unsuccessful at stopping the enemy's executes and fighting the enemies, and I know that I'm kind of like the weakest link in my team at that moment of time. Like, I just don't know what to do against these enemies. You know, my teammates are playing better agents to stop them and to counter them. Then I would maybe be like, okay, you know, Horkus, brother, pick that operator, peek like a gorilla, and just give me the free win, please. I love that he buys the Outlaw in this round, but he doesn't have money for the Heavy Shield. Against the enemies that have Bandits and Sheriffs. On this range. Splendid. Splendid. Good positioning, once again. Chat, whenever you're playing any elevated position, you always want to play that position towards the safest drop, like this. You want to hold this angle as tight as your reaction time allows you. And you just go for one shot, reset yourself, then you can TP up, go for another shot, reset yourself. You can smoke off the enemies, get that Vandal, and now the round is practically over. Drasin says, month with an Ankh. I don't know, how did you survive, like, for that long?
Get out of my way!
Listen, here, when you went for a second shot, it's okay, it's enough. You got the initial kill. Now, you know, like, listen. When you're reloading the Outlaw, 2 bullets of the Outlaw, that takes 3.8 seconds exactly. That's a lot of wasted time that we can use to fight with our teammates and to additionally fuck up the enemies. You already bought the Outlaw with a Vandal. Okay, good kill here. Very nice, very good. Pick up the Vandal, get onto a second off angle from where the enemies are not gonna expect you, and you can maybe hold the push here, get another free kill. Maybe you can peek, get another free kill. Smoke this off, and finish the round. Why are you wasting 3.8 seconds of your life while the enemies are going for an execute, reloading the Outlaw? That was the biggest mistake here. If you're already stockpile yourself with the weapons like this, you're already a weapon minister, use them. You know? You know that enemies are going for some execute. You only kill the Yoru. Jet still has the ultimate and is probably gonna run you down. There's 4 enemies alive. Especially, you know, as soon as your Fade died from the enemy Jet. Here. You had to be like, oh, fuck this shit, bro. I don't have time to reload now the bullets. Because enemies can run me down. Let's pick this Vandal. Be ready to smoke choke point. Be ready to use the paranoia. And to push the enemies back. But overall, like this whole idea of getting the Outlaw in a round where we don't have that much money is just stupid, man. Literally stupid. Good idea to get the Outlaw, but since you already have a Vandal and you don't have money for a heavy shield. Yeah. Now, so enemies went C in the last round. So every round they're doing something different. So once again, we should play B. You know, one consistent thing that enemies were kind of always doing, they always had some pressure in mid or pressure around the garage in most of the rounds. So once again, a really good gamble is just to play B, you know. Like on Lotus and Haven, you know, these Triland maps, 3 bomb set maps, a lot of the rounds you'll be starting around the garage, around the B site, around the B site, and A-Link area of the map on Lotus. Or at least you're forced to start like that if you want to have a timing to support your teammates everywhere. Listen, if you're holding this position like this, always crouch down, ADS, and this is how your crosshair placement and positioning should look like. Chat, this is actually a pretty decent angle holding, pretty unpredictable in terms of the body posture. Enemies only see half of your body, so it's really hard to hit your head anyways and to have a good crosshair placement for this shit. And you just say for 1 bullet, 1 burst fire, take the knife out and reposition onto the secondary off angle. Especially when you play in lobbies between Iron 1 and Immortal 2. Very, very good angle holding. Like this. Like this. Like this. As long as you're covering half of your body and half of your head with a wall, you will die maybe 10% of times with this type of angle holding technique.
Shadows traveling.
Good smoke for the garage. We heard the enemies in the garden, so we had to smoke the garage for our Reyna. Our Faith, sorry. Is that Reyna or Faith? Faith.
Shadows traveling.
Yeah. Now listen. You always want to sync up your retakes with your teammates. If you're already playing a 5v5 retake, wait for your teammates to be ready to do this shit, and then go for some kind of a play. And also, never hold your abilities in your hand before you're ready to deploy them. Enemies might peek you through this smoke right now, you know? Enemies might swing. They might flash you out. They might kill your Killjoy. Also, when the Killjoy was inside of the smoke, how do you know that this Killjoy is gonna stay in the smoke? Maybe this Killjoy is like a suicide bomber, and the guy is just gonna send it out against 5 enemies. And we need to support her, you know, be ready to fight together with her. So, thanks God I'm not streaming on TikTok right now. Like, we will be permabanned forever. Like, today I'm just all of the bad jokes are today. Today is a bad jokes day only. So yeah, don't hold the abilities in your hands until the moment of time when you're ready to deploy them. It takes only a half a second to pull them out, for most of the abilities, but you don't want to get caught off guard by a random enemy peek or by a random teammate taking some fights.
Spike planted.
Stealing sight.
Okay.
Your fun. My turn.
This teleport. Zoom. You guys always complain. Can't you stay silent for a second? So, listen here. When you're going for the B-side retakes with Omen, whenever you're like 100% certain that there's not a single enemy at the backside, you should always do this. Always. And get onto this position. Right here. From this position, it's pretty easy to support your teammates both right and left. You have this wood as a cover to do a safe teleport, because right now, you know, I don't really know if enemy jet is maybe up here. If someone is playing this angle, I don't know if enemies are gonna swing like this and peek me. It is a pretty safe, you know, type of retake, like when you're like 90% certain that not a single enemy is playing here. And then from this position, you know, we just clear the angles one at a time, play with our teammates. The round is over. Because, you know, here for example, your team has died in the A-link. How do you know that, you know, this jet is maybe not going for this type of a swing at this moment of time? And trying to contest us in the C-link. I don't know, you don't know, you cannot teleport like this. And also this is another reason. Why would you engage the enemies alone without any cover? Always sync up your retakes together with the rest of your team. Simple as that. Like here, you don't even need to do any teleports. At all. Just fight with the Killjoy. Hold this line. Prevent the enemies from, you know, getting at the backside. Wait for the fade to do this. Wait for the jet to rotate. And let's make a sandwich out of them. Then we can go for this TP. Now engage the enemies here. Or here. That's it. Why are you rushing it out? We have more than 30 seconds to defuse this spike. Around 30 seconds. I need to see what the fuck is our jet doing?
You had your fun. My turn.
Okay. Jet wanted to go for a flank and lurk. Now listen. Another info that you should have picked up in these 5 rounds is that Cypher every round is doing something alone. Like Cypher is every round lurking, flanking, doing some solo plays, and whenever enemies have a sentinel player like that, watch your back, watch your ass, and expect that enemy to be everywhere and anywhere. Did we win this round? Okay, we won it. Okay, so in that round, enemies pushed B and they failed. Now, the next round is a really good round to gamble on the A side. Even though the enemies had the tendencies to mainly go B and C and garage in this match, the next round I would probably gamble on A. Probably. The reason is, like, they failed too many times, the executes on B and C. They are following this A, B, C, D, E, F, G pattern. And also, when you have the Omen ultimate, you can do any gambles that you want to do, based on the information that you have. But if the enemies are Eco and Halbai, which I don't know in this round, once again, you should be playing either on B side or in the garage. Operator, big guns, huh? Big guns. Outlaw. Outlaw is also a decent option because they don't have the money to buy the heavy shields. Okay, good. Just, what the fuck is he buying? Like, just a second. Why do you play this round with the Regen shield, man? If you have money for the heavy shield, buy the heavy shield. And also, fuck the bandit, man. Like with the Omen, if you're playing snipers, get the shorty, get the outlaw, get the heavy shield, get all of the abilities. That's it. You don't need anything else. You have 2 shrouded steps to close the gap with the enemies. 2 smokes, paranoia like. Fuck the bandit. And try to pay more attention on these you know, patterns and rules that I'm trying to teach you here. Like, you need to become a bit better at predicting. You know, you need to become a Nostradamus a bit. Once again, I need to repeat. Players in between gold 1. and Immortal 2 are the most brainless players in Valorant. Players that have a very linear pattern, linear playstyle, linear way of thinking. Like, their playbooks are mega shallow. Their playstyle is mega shallow. You need to abuse that as much as you can to position properly. And once again, in this round, even if nobody is defending the C site, you should play A. You have the ultimate anyways. If enemies are not going A, we can just use an instant ultimate to go C and defend the C site. And play with a Fade, Killjoy, or whoever. Now, already based on this information that your Reyna and Jet gave you, you should have used your ultimate onto the A site to support your Jet and Reyna instantly.
I've got your trail.
Especially, okay, now you don't have to do that. I'm sorry. Now, literally, you should just give smokes to your teammates on A and just rotate. I mean, your teammates made a 5v3 numbers advantage. No reason to waste the ultimate in this round.
Cover going out.
Good smoke there, I love it. He did this smoke. Very, very good smoke. Especially now because the enemy Jet is left alone on site. Like, this smoke, you want to give it to your teammates whenever, like, they're playing some eco or Halberd round on A site, and whenever there's only one teammate defending the A site. Like, those are the two best situations when you should do it. In most of the situations, like, when you already have, you know, two teammates defending the site with long-range weapons, you just want to do this smoke and do either this or this. But if your teammates are playing eco Halberd, there's only one guy defending A site, just this and this.
Cover going out.
I know exactly where you
Squidward! Listen, like, you know, if the Cypher revealed that 3 of you guys are on the A site, in this elo, 99% of times enemies are just gonna run C. You know, maybe like 10 or 20% of times in Diamond and Ascendant, enemies are gonna be like, let's cut the noise and let's push A site again. But 80 to 90% of times you can just expect that enemies are just running C. And here you can also use the ultimate to rotate onto C site a bit faster and just, you know, stop them, or you can just take the knife out and instantly rotate. Especially because your Fade and Killjoy are already playing together on a refrag potential, so you don't need to play with them. And we have a alarm bot for the B site. I don't know why did you do this, to be honest. Like, whenever you want to make some kind of a decision in Valorant, ask yourself, what would an average teammate, no, not you, what would an average teammate in your elo and rank do?
Spike.
You should not be asking what you would do, because maybe you're smarter or dumber than your teammates, but what would your teammates do? Like, what would your Cypher and Sky do if you were on the attacker's side with this info?
Planted.
Here, you should have definitely traded the Outlaw for a Vandal. Generally speaking, in Valorant, like, whenever you're playing retakes, you never want to play them with the snipers. Ever. You always want to have more bullets and more chances to refrag your teammates and deal more damage than 1 or 2 shots from the Outlaw and Operator. This can cost us a lot. But hey! If you started on the A set in this round, we would have won this round long time ago.
Shadows traveling.
Good ultimate. Very good ultimate. You can feel free to use the Omen ultimate like this in most of the rounds. You're playing a retake. You have no idea where are these two enemies. This is very smart, very good. We scout the enemies on most of the off angles and common positions that they can play. And now we limit the information. Now we know that enemies can either be garage or in the sea long. But now that we saw the sky, I mean,
Last player
cancel the ultimate. Cancel the ultimate, bro.
standing.
Okay, so enemies are following A, B, C, D, E, F, G pattern. Now enemies are definitely gonna go C or garage. So you can start on C maybe. Ooh, judge play. What the fuck is going on with your economy?
Last player standing.
How are you playing in this round only with a judge and abilities when you had money to buy a judge, heavy shield, 2 smokes, paranoia, and 1 shrouded step? I have no idea what's going on here. Wait, let me see the economy here. I mean, like, your teammates are playing a bit of a halberd round. But, I mean, it's okay. Like, it's fine, I guess. Like, personally, I would have bought a Baki with a light shield instead of a judge, so that in the next round I can also get the heavy shield, Vandal, Phantom, and all of the abilities if I use them. But okay. When you're playing with the shotguns on Seaside, you should almost never start on this on this left position. It's better if you start right. And if you use this type of Akabi position smoke. And then in the future,
Surprise, motherfucker.
when you repeat this play, you can try to mix it up a bit. You know, like you can do it here, for an example. Like you cannot mix it up that much. Like literally, we only have like 2 Kabi position smokes. Yunkom, thank you for the prime. Give me a sub and enjoy the playbook, man.
Cover going out. Cover going out.
Listen, whenever you rotate from some bomb set in Valorant, bomb site that has a long area of the map. So, for an example, you rotate from... Can I please... Valorant? Thank you. Seaside. A long. Pearl. B long. Breeze. B main area of the map. Always, before you rotate, jump for this angle or this angle, just to see if any enemies are maybe picking up the timing here to surprise you, and then go for a rotation. Because if enemies are doing that, and you don't see them here, they're gonna need a lot of time to do this shit. Also in this match, like, you know, enemy Cypher was always lurking and flanking and playing alone. So getting that info is very important so we don't get, you know, some backshots. Personally, I don't like backshots. You know? I'm more for the front shots. Very good kill. Listen, whenever you get stunned with Omen, whenever you get flashed with Omen, something bad is happening to you. Your automatic instinct, should be to pull out the shrouded steps and go somewhere. Anywhere. Anywhere is better than standing in that same open position where enemies can spam you down and kill you. You get stunned here by the Sky Dog. Instantly, try to do this. You get, I don't know, you're fighting the enemies on the A site. They're pushing you out, you get flash here. Instantly, try to do something and try to keep yourself moving a bit. You'll just have much higher chances of surviving than randomly spraying the enemies, you know, here, and trying to kill them. Or you just wait for the enemies to, you know, delete you. Okay, I mean, so far we played 8 rounds on the defender side. We already know that in 7 out of these 8 rounds, enemies did some kind of a mid pressure. We need to start fucking them up in mid. And it's really good what he's doing right now. Really, really good. Like, basically, you know, he realized that, you know, we struggle the most in mid. That enemies always have someone around the garden and window. Okay, let's go. Just in a full buy round, I don't really advise you to do this type of a play alone. You know, like ask for some kind of a support, for someone to hold the window for you. Also, if you want to teleport bottom mid, bottom mid, start from the left side. You know, do it like this. You don't want to start from the right side because, like, if enemies swing you from the window, like, you're there. Anyways, they're gonna see you. You know, anyways, they can kill you. That's why we need someone to hold the mid for us, the window for us.
Who's next?
As I already mentioned, like, doing this play solo is just suicide. Like, you need, like, when you wanna take mid control like this, you need to have some pressure from Garage, and you need to have one more teammate holding the window for you. Otherwise, like, this is just a full-on Sudoku. I'm not gonna lie. And this is a play I would never recommend you to do alone. Ever.
I will rip the light from them.
If you have money for the heavy shield, buy the heavy shield, fuck the light shield, like, you know. Just fuck the light shield. Always buy the heavy shield. Like, you can make a... I always say this to every single player that I coach. Next 100 times. Whenever you thought of buying the light shield, but you have money for heavy shield, buy the heavy shield. And just mark down how many times that heavy shield allowed you to survive. To survive the fight against the enemies. To stay alive during the initial duels that you take. It's gonna be more than 20. More than 20 in 100 rounds, which is a lot. Brother, you're playing Omen and you know, like, if you already want to hold the window peak, that enemies really like to do during this match, just hold it from, you know, this off angle. Amazing. Very safe position, very safe way of getting the kill. Hide yourself here, wait for 2 or 3 seconds, so the enemies have the timing to do this, and then, you know, like, once you think that enemies swung the window, try to get a kill. Play here, you know? Hold this angle, and then on timing, we can maybe clear the window and try to get a kill.
my way.
Once again, this, you know, doing this scale down mid alone is just a very, very risky type of a play. Not something I would recommend you in a full buy round. And not something I would recommend you to do alone. You need some support from your teammates. Some support.
You were a mistake.
Fuck, man. He didn't see the spike.
Shadows traveling.
You had your fun. My turn.
Blinding.
Okay. Good paranoia.
One enemy remaining.
Doesn't make a noise either way. Listen, so when you're taking mid control, like, the only way to successfully do this is by walking out mid like this, and you try to walk into this position while one of your teammates holds the window. That's one way. The other way is like, as soon as the round starts, you smoke the window and basically start scaling out. Another way, just tell 3 of your teammates to fight for the garden and mid. You know, tell maybe your Jet to peek the garden, while you and Killjoy maybe are fighting for window and bottom mid control. So you can scale into this position and maybe get in a window to surprise the enemies. But running it down bottom mid like this, or walking out here alone, it's never a good idea. Also, one very good play with Omen that you can do to take mid control is, at the start of the round, you can smoke the window like this, paranoid this position, teleport into this corner, and from this position, you know, try to take space and try to take the window control and fuck up the enemies. Something I would only recommend in eco rounds, halberd rounds, bonus rounds. Okay, in 3v1s, like, fuck the map control, fuck the spike control. The only thing that matters is that we play this 3v1 together with at least one of our teammates. We can just wait and see, you know, what's gonna happen, where this Jet is gonna end up. We don't care. Literally don't care. We just wanna isolate all of the angles from which this Jet can kill us and play with at least one of our teammates.
Going out.
Okay, Jet is going C. Reyna is gonna die like potato. Oh, Reyna got a kill. Never mind. W's in the chat for the Reyna. You cannot teleport there with Omen.
Coward. Run.
Outlaw again. It really depends on the enemy's economy. I mean, like, the only time you force up Outlaw is when you're like 90% certain that 3 or more enemies are gonna play with a light shield in that round.
Not ready yet.
I don't really understand, like, why would you drop a Vandal here if you're playing on top of the B site? Drop it here. Because, you know, once you finish the fights with the Outlaw, it's a bit faster to do this, you know, instead of dropping down and picking the gun from this position. Drop it a bit closer to you, you know, towards some safety, towards your secondary angle, off angle.
Coward. Run.
And especially when enemies are equal in Halbai, you need to have a heavy shield. You just need to have it. Especially now that the bandit exists. Okay, here our fade gave us the info with the jump spot that 3 enemies are C long. Go, brother! Go, brother! We need to go see. What are you waiting for? We have an alarm bot for the B-main. We have the turret for the garage. We saw 3 enemies on the minimap. In the C-long. Go, brother.
Shadows traveling.
And not to mention that, you know, you should have smoked C-long like, maybe like 10 seconds ago. Okay, not 5 seconds ago. But you got this info as well. Like, Clove just destroyed the Killjoy's turret. You knew that one enemy is in the garage.
Shadows traveling.
I mean, this is a pretty stupid death in my opinion. Like, you knew that one enemy is in the garage. We know that 3 enemies are C-long and 1 is garage. We have all of the info. Pick up the Vandal. Smoke the C-long for your teammates. Clear the clear the garage with your jet. And we just win this round.
I need this. Thank you. My ultimate is ready.
Once again, same mistake as, you know, in one of the previous rounds. Like, okay, so you bought the Outlaw and a Vandal. Instead of reloading this Outlaw, and instead of smoking there, use this position as a first angle. Do this, bam, bam. Drop the Outlaw, get on this off angle, try to get one more kill. Or try to get more and more kill like this. Reset yourself, do the smoke. Now we defend the bomb site, you know, with the paranoia and with our teammates.
Cover going up.
Give yourself more chances to get more kills by positioning and repositioning better and smarter, where you don't need to commit to 50-50 fights.
Nightmare takes them!
Cover going out.
Oh man, like, just look at the Killjoy. Killjoy is holding her ultimate to plant it on the ground. Never hold your abilities in Valorant in your hands until you're ready to deploy, until it is time to use them.
One enemy remaining.
Listen, you need to play more with the enemy's mind with your teleports. Try to abuse some of these off angles, some of these TP strategies, like to keep yourself mobile and to always make the enemies second guess what you're doing. Especially on C set, like we have so many good positioning and repositioning setups with Omen utility. You know, at one moment of time, you're fighting the enemies here. At the next moment of time, you're already on this position, ready to use paranoia and to fuck them up as they're going out through the choke point. And don't hold the abilities in your hand until you're ready to use them. Hold a gun. So if your Reyna wants to fight like this, you're ready to swing out, refrag her, and take this duel. Pull out the paranoia only as the enemies are going for the execute, and you're just ready to use it. And that's it.
They will cover.
Okay, you know, every time when you die and your teammates refrag you, it's okay. You know, you fought with them 2v1 fights are good fights in Valorant. Okay, overall on the defender side, just a second. On defense specifically, your positioning, your initial positioning, actually, your initial positioning is fine. Positioning is fine, but your repositioning can be much better. You need to use your shrouded steps more often to play with enemy's mind and to keep your location a secret. General points like your economy management is mega weird, I'm not gonna lie, and you're wasting enormous amount of credits when you can't afford that. Prioritize heavy shield instead of light shield when you already have money for it. Then you need to focus. Yo, Malas, see you later, see you later. You need to focus just a second. Don't go for solo risky plays alone in full buy rounds. Taking the space on defender's side. Like, you know, for example, you simply, like with Omen, you simply cannot do this alone. Or run it down here. It's just way too risky. Like, your chances of dying on timing and luck and from some double swing are too high. You need to ask for some kind of a support from your teammates in order for this play to make any sense. Now, on the defender side, also, you need to read enemy patterns more and position accordingly. Use the 7 rules that we've mentioned during this VOD review. Then what else happened on the defender side? Sync up your retakes with your teammates, and every round when you die without using your utility to create more favorable fights, you could have done something better. Okay. Now let me see his what he wrote down here for us. Classic pistol shorty A site because I don't want to play A retake and expect them to go A. Okay. I said them to go grass, so I held garage with a marshal. The economy was the problem there, and the play that you did. Played A because of my marshal wanted to bait jet to the judge both for the retake. We talked about that. Expected a C side hit because they won on C. Not a good idea. This round I still was C because they lost somewhere else and only C worked about the outlaw because of their economy as a secondary. We talked about that. They won C again, so I wanted to play the C main choke for an initial pick. So I can rotate faster if I don't hear anything. Okay, thought they would go C because it's the only thing that worked. I wanted to pick C long on a timing to avoid jump spots, etc. Okay. Was still confident in C. Now that I write it down, I noticed that the misread. Wanted to play shotgun with a Kabi smoke. Okay. Call for a mid push. Nobody wanted to push with me. Wanted to try out this TP. Listen. I mean, that play that you try to do on mid in the round number 9 is just a suicide. You know, like a good solo play that you can maybe do in some half by rounds. If you really want to fuck up the enemies here and here. Is from the garage, you deploy this smoke, you do the paranoia like this, and basically you teleport into this corner. And then from this corner you can scoot into this smoke, or maybe engage the enemies from the left side and try to get a few picks. But just teleporting from here to here, or running it down alone, you're most of the times you're just gonna die. Like, most of the time. Then want to play fast rotate, so I started with holding window and lurk if I don't see anything, because I haven't done that yet. Because of their money, I bought the Outlaw. They went mid to B last time on their eco, so I wanted to deny them that option, okay? Should I pick Vandal for retake? Absolutely. And also, like, in that round, you know, I don't know how you lost the information that one enemy is in the garage. The Clove literally destroyed the Killjoy over there. Their economy wasn't the best, so I did the Outlaw Vandal thing. Again, because I expected them to hit C, and it still worked the best. Okay. Okay. Okay, we pretty much covered, you know, everything on Defender's side. So now, time for the attack. Now, same as on defense, you need to ask yourself, you know, like, which map are you playing? How should you play that map? What are the strategies, tactics, and setups you should be using? What should we do with our team comp and, I guess, against enemy team composition? So, on Haven, your default site, number 1, priority A. Number 2, C. Number 3, B. Generally speaking, on Haven, in the first 4 to 6 rounds, you need to persuade your teammates to mainly do the 5-man executes towards the C site and A site. Like, you really don't want to touch the B site early on in a match, or God forbid, end up in the post plans on the B site. B site post plans are the most 50-50 post plans on any map in Valorant. Like B site of Lotus and B site of Haven. The sites are way too overexposed. There's like 3 choke points that you need to think about. And it's really, really hard playing a proper refray game and properly holding the post plant on the B site in ranked solo queue. So we really want to end up either A or C early on. And we use B site as a last resort, if nothing else works. Now, whenever enemies are eco halberd bonus, just avoid this area of the map completely. And in the first round, what you decide to do purely depends on the enemy team composition. Like, your team comp, as I already mentioned, fine. You know, we don't really lack anything on both attackers and defender side. We just need to pay attention, you know, like, what type of flank utility our Killjoy is doing. And when it comes to the enemy team comp, you need to take a cover for your eyes. You know, like, they have 4 pop flashes. Whenever we are scaling through some area of the map, we need to scale really, really smart. Also, enemies have the Cypher. Like, Cypher on Haven, 90% of times in ranked solo queue, is gonna play C as a default position. So going C against Cypher in ranked solo queue in the first round, good luck. Literally just good luck. Not good luck because you're gonna make some mistake, but I just have no idea what your teammates are gonna do. A much better idea in this first round was to simply go A and do a 5-man push onto A site. Now, we're already going C. What should we do with Omen? No matter if you're going C, B, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, L, M, N, and K, yeah, all of that, you'll get a classic pistol, light shield, 2 smokes, and 2 shrouded steps. In the first round, if you're playing below Immortal 3, you should always go for some semi-aggressive setup, where in the same time you're supporting yourself and your teammates as well, and you're going for some kind of an aggro play to take the space for your team. So, we want to go C. We run and do this jump spot to reveal the enemies. Do the smoke for garage, then do the smoke for the backside and top of the site like this, and you're teleporting inside of this smoke, leading the charge. Then, based on the info that you get on the minimap, from your teammates based on the audio as well. You decide what to do next. You can go for some extra outplay to go behind the enemies and surprise them. Or you can simply swing from this smoke and take the fights together with your teammates. Especially if you're playing below Immortal, you cannot trust your teammates doing a proper execute and taking the space for you in the first round. Crimsono! I've been waiting for you, man. I'm here live for the last, like, 2 hours. Where the fuck are you, bro? Okay.
Shadows traveling. Cover going out.
Good shit. Very good shit. Oh, what a good shit, bro. Ah, bro, like, this is so good, man. Perfect execute, man. Very good. Very, very good. Good timing to do everything. Good timing for the smokes. This was, like... It's been a long time since I've seen someone do this play so perfectly. Like, literally from the playbook. Copy-paste. Very good, very good.
Spike down.
Just going C in this round was, like, criminal.
C.
Listen, in a 2v2, play with your teammate. Just play with the Reyna. Like, probably, you know, the easiest way to play a 2v2 when you're playing the spike on the C side is to simply take the garage control. And just one of you guys is locking in the garden, while the other guy is locking in the window and this position. And that's it. The easiest way. The reason is very simple, because enemies can go through the garage, long, and CT as well. We have zero information. And if enemies end up on site through the CT or C long, there's no fucking way that enemies are gonna walk up into this position and clear it, you know, silently. Like, that happens, like, in less than 10% of retakes that you play. Postmans that you play in ranked solo queue. But the worst thing that we can do is, you know, what you're doing right now. Why are you pushing? We have no info. Where is the Clove? Where is the Jet? You can easily end up in some 1 versus 2 fight, die, and leave your Reyna in a 1v1. You should have just followed up this Reyna into the garage, take the full garage control, and that's it. And from the garage we play this post plant.
One enemy remaining.
You should have been dead. A bad play that worked is still a bad play.
Last player standing.
This was also a bad play and very bad positioning. Listen, like, you always want to position yourself in a way in Valorant where you can play a perfect refrag game and perfect crossfire setups with your teammates. Like, when you're playing with your teammates, a 2 versus 1 situation, like, you just want to always ask yourself, can my teammate die from some angle without me being able to fight with him or refrag him in less than half a second? If the answer is yes, your positioning is bad. And you need to change it. We know that Clove is in the C-long. We got that info long time ago. Not long time ago, like 5 seconds ago. And she did this type of a smoke. The best shit that you can do is play from this position and hold the left peak from the smoke, while your Reyna is doing this. You take a fight, we can reset, and just wait for Reyna to get ready for that fight, and fight together. If Reyna takes a fight on the right side, you're instantly there to do this. Instead of losing the life of one of your teammates, like this.
Last player stand.
The only problem here was just the positioning. And when you ended up in a 1v1, you don't need to force this fight. You have 8 seconds until your smoke recharges. Enemy Clove doesn't have any more smokes. She used all of them. Keep your location a secret. Now, in one versus one post plants, you need to keep in mind that this enemy is the one under the pressure. Clove needs to find you. Clove needs to defuse the spike. You can engage the Clove from the back of this smoke, from the garage, from the CT, from the backside, from the plateau, like from a million of different positions. Play, like if you play one versus one post plants a bit slower, you'll win them 10 times more, 10 times more than if you just get this type of a duel. Yes, you're on a good off angle, good position, like, but still, you can simply play on time. Wait 8 seconds for a one-way smoke, like, you can easily reset yourself. For example, here, towards the garage, get in a garage, use the enemy Clove smoke as a cover, and now, she taps the spike. You can do a one-way, and now take a free kill. But the main mistake here was like just your positioning compared to what your Reyna wanted to do in this post plant. Like in a 2v2 post plants, like it really doesn't matter what you want to do if your teammates have different ideas. Like you really want to play with that guy and be able to refrag him at every single moment of time. Bandit, huh? Stinger. We're forcing. I don't know, man. Like, forcing on the attacker's side on a map such as Haven is such a bad idea. Only because of Outlaw, So playing with a light shield in this round is not really the best shit. I'm not gonna lie. So, if you already wanted to force in this second round, just go for the Bandit, Heavy Shield, and all of the abilities. Anyways, with Shrouded Steps and Smokes, you can close the gap with the enemies. You can provide more support for your teammates. You don't risk dying from a one-tap of Outlaw in the body. And you have higher chance of winning this round. Gamble, we'll make gambles later. Good jump spot, love it. Good shit.
Cover going out. Stay in sight.
Good. Very good utility usage. Very good pathing, very good scaling up. Like, this is like by the book. Listen, don't randomly waste your bullets and spray through the smokes when you're not like at least 60% certain that an enemy is there or you don't know his exact location. You just, when we do a play like this, okay, so we clear the site, we know that enemy Cypher is not here, he is not there. The next step for you was to clear the plateau. Like, nobody cleared this angle right here. Nobody. Check that position and just, hold the smoke and be ready to take the fights together with your teammates. Instead of, like, you waste these bullets. Now you're reloading and you're not ready to fight at the backside with your teammates. And your teammates can die. Vitex fire, we'll see, man. Vitex fire. Also, remember one more thing. Whenever you're fighting, like, on the Haven seaside, 90% of times, you want to fight from right to left. And take these type of fights. Instead of fighting from the middle.
Last player standing.
Listen. Like, it took us a lot of time to take the site. I don't know why you're planting the spike right now. Enemies can be super close. We don't know how close they are. We need to play this a bit slower. A smart idea here was to maybe do a fake plant on this position and wait to see if any enemies are gonna peek you from garage and from the CT and take those fights. You have 1 minute and 15 seconds to plant the spike. Right now we should be fighting. Like, there's no way that at least one enemy is not close in the garage or CT ready to kill us or our killjoy. Don't go for panic plans. You know? Like, basically, you should never be pressured to plant the spike in Valorant. As long as you have more than, 4 seconds to plant the spike. Take the fights, take a better weapons from the enemies, like maybe Vandal, Bulldog or something like that. Let's maybe try to take some fights with the Killjoy, to make out of this a 2v3, 2v2 out of 2v3, and then we can go for a spike plant.
Last player standing.
This would have been an easy kill if you just committed to the fight. Listen, whenever you're taking the fights with a Stinger, just commit to the fight. If it is a fight below 20 meters, just take the fight standing up for the first 5 to 6 bullets, and then as soon as the recoil kicks in, just crouch down and try to control that recoil. Don't move around, don't go for some bullshit like this, just commit to the fight. Stinger has a very low time to kill, one of the lowest out of SMGs, because you're literally firing like 20 bullets in less than 2 seconds. Just commit to the fight. Like with Stinger, fuck the strafing, stop and shoot, all of that. Just take a fight and don't panic. Just fully focus on recoil control and nailing those bullets into the enemy's head and body.
Last player standing.
I don't know, as I said, like, forcing in this second round on the attacker side, it's hard, man. It's hard on a map such as Haven. On Corrode, okay. On Bind, okay. Like, there's a chance we win the second force buy. But on a map like Haven, it's too much of a gamble. Especially when you're already leading like 8-5. Save the money and make sure that we win that third round and that's it. Also, on a macro level, it really doesn't make a single sense pushing C-site in the first 2 rounds when enemies have a Cypher. Like, that Cypher player is going to play C 80% of rounds and in 80% of matches. A much better gamble in this game was to go A 3 rounds in a row and then in a 4th round to change the pattern a bit, based on how the A executes went, how fast the enemies are rotating, and where this Cypher is actually playing. Okay, listen. Like, when you do this type of a play, so you want to take space fast in the aim and area of the map. This is also good, not bad. Like, you always want to do this type of a bunny hop and get into this position. Then from this position, you're clearing this angle and clearing this position together with your teammates. Once you do that, and once we are crossing this line, then we are doing the smoke for tower, smoke for CT, and going out.
Cover going.
Like, we didn't even check the A-long area of the map, and you're already doing the smokes. Relax a bit. A push takes a lot of time. Let's clear the A-long first. Clear this off angle as well. And then, let's do the smokes.
Shadows traveling. Blinding.
I don't know about this teleport, I'm not gonna lie. Because, this Jet and enemies on Ace can play anywhere. If you already wanted to play this aggressive, much better idea would have been to do some kind of a setup like this. CT smoke, smoke for site and tower, and then with a paranoia like we TP at the bottom of the smoke or on top of it. And then from this position, we peek the enemies or we go for a second teleport. Okay. In this round, we should go A again. I mean, like, you got all of the info that you need about the enemies. We know that Clove is the B player. We know that Cypher is the C player. We know that Jett is the A player. And they play like that for the last 3 rounds. Let's just go A. You know, even if 2 enemies are defending A side, like, what the fuck are Jett and Clove gonna do? You know, or Jett and Sky, Jett and Yoru. Like, yes, they can pop flash you, but you should just play the anti-flash setups and that's it. I don't really understand what's the idea in this round. I need to read the playbook from our friend. Just a second. So, which round is this? Like, round number 16. Wanted to hit C because A usually doesn't work out for me on pistol and I expect only Cypher here. I don't know about that. This force was a bad idea. Trying A was a good idea. I noticed the rotate fast, so I called for a default play for mid, but my team didn't fully listen. I wanted to break the Cypher camp to slow down rotations. I mean, if enemies are already rotating fast, like, your call out should not have been to default, but just to fake. You know, let's fake the C push against the Cypher and go A. And that's also one thing that you should keep in mind when you're doing the fakes. You always want to fake the site where the enemy Sentinel is playing. Because faking the A and going C is not going to do that much because Sentinel players usually anchor their bomb sites a bit longer. How to find your sense? My sense. I'm currently using a bit lower sensitivity, like 0.056 at 3200 dpi. But my main sense is this.
Shadows traveling.
Okay, okay.
Going out. Stealing sight.
Listen, whenever you go onto the A site, only through the A long area of the map, and you kill the enemies that are backside, your instant focus should be doing this. Clearing the whole A short area of the map, clearing your back again, and then moving back onto the site. Always. Always. If you push the A side without A short control. Even if you kill this Jett, I would have still done this Monaco circle. Formula 1. I just don't know how many enemies played A this round. And if enemies maybe had some kind of a timing to like avoid this Killjoy turret. They have a Cypher cage, you know, they have Clove smokes. They have Jett smokes. Maybe they passed it.
One enemy remaining.
In the post plans, usually you want to play with your most aggressive teammates that have the highest chance of dying. But in a 4v1, like, you know, just make sure that you don't die. Like, we can still support this Killjoy, you know, play all the way here and be ready to swing out on the Killjoy's contact. But we don't need to force this fight too much, you know, like, we can just win this easily from the site. Here, for an example, you know, as your Killjoy is on the right side here, you should be here. Ready to swing out like this if the Killjoy takes this fight. Like, whenever you're taking the fights with your teammates, make sure that you're not swinging the enemy in the same horizontal line. Like, you always want to be a bit up front or back so that we're not, you know, doing MMA with our teammates. Here, once again, I just don't understand, like, what is this fetish of the C site? Like, I mean, literally, you have all of the info for this match. what the enemies are doing. Like literally, we know that, you know, A is being defended by Jet and one more enemy, most of the times. I don't know, sending your ranked solo queue teammates towards the enemy sentinel can always be interesting. Like, if you already want to push C here, a much better idea is to do a C split. Basically, 2 of your teammates go through long, 3 of your teammates, including you, go through the garage. And we send the spike C long. We do the smoke in the window, we do the smoke in the CT, paranoid the backside, and that's it. Anyways, we have Fade in the team. Fade can easily clear the garage with the dogs. By doing a 5-man push on C against the Cypher only through C long, it can always be interesting, you know, when you're playing in lobbies below Immortal 3.
Shadows traveling. Cover going out. Stay in sight.
I don't know, like, you know, a bit of elbowing here and there, like with the allies, like not something we could have prevented. Plus, we have the Killjoy's ultimate for the A set and garage. Like, I'm really not a fan of these 5-man executes through the same choke point when enemies have a sentinel defending a site. Unless you're playing in some high Immortal and Radiant lobbies. Like, your teammates are always going to be a bit more passive, a bit more scared. When they run it out, like, God knows if they're going to expect all of these trip setups and destroy them. Like, this type of a play and this type of an execute holds an enormous amount of risk. While doing the 5-man push on A or A split or C split against this enemy team composition and setup is just far better. Now listen, when you do this type of a play, you can mix it up a bit. You know? You don't always have to teleport in this position. Especially if you did it before. Like when you get in this smoke, you can also pick the enemies on timing and try to get the kills like this. You can also, if you're not certain where are the enemies, you can also use fake shrouded steps to reveal the enemies and then take the fights and take the duels. So don't only tunnel vision yourself that this is the only play that you can make with this type of TP setup, smoke setup. Also, when you're teleporting here at the backside, you always want to teleport behind this box. So you take cover if the enemies are holding you from this position and this position. And then we can swing out, clear this, and then, you know, we clear the CT. So as soon as the jet died, your next objective should be either killing the sky or clearing the CT area of the map. Also, during these executes, you know, while you're using the smokes and while you're using the shrouded steps, when you're inside of your smokes as well, your eyes should be glued on the minimap. Like literally every shrouded step, every smoke that you do should be autopilot mode for you. Like you can use your utility without actually looking at your screen. And your full focus should be on what's happening on the minimap and what should be my next step once I do this execute or this play. Where should I fight? Where should I expect the enemies? Where should I teleport?
Standing.
Shadows traveling.
Listen. Whenever on Haven, whenever you have one teammate that is peeking in the window, you should always be ready to peek the window together with that teammate. Like, this peek is so dangerous, so fucked up, so bad, on so many different levels, when you do it without any teleport or flash ability. Be ready to support your teammates here. Okay, now we come in a very common scenario that you're gonna approach in Valorant. Whenever you exchange, you default towards the mid area of the map. You default on the map, and you exchange, a few love taps with the enemies, left and right. We exchange a bit of the numbers. The best idea and the best call out you can give to your teammates: hey guys, let's reset towards A long or C long, and let's just do a 3-man or a 4-man execute like the round has just started. It's always the best idea. Like, you clear every single position that enemies could have taken, behind you, and you're just fighting up front, and there is absolutely no way that 4 enemies are going to be C, B, and A. Most of the times you're going to be fighting either 1 or 2 enemies. So right now, we should not be wasting our time anymore in mid. We should instantly be going either towards the A long or towards the C long. Isn't defaulting mega hard to do in solo queue, because most of the time you're not engaged in the fights your team is doing. When you're defaulting in ranked solo queue, you should always position yourself in a way where you think the first fight is going to happen. Based on what enemies did on a defender's side. If you think that, while you're defaulting, enemies are going to fight aggressively in A long, in A main, default towards the A main, and let your teammates control everything else. And also, when you're defaulting, you should, if you have no idea where the first contact is going to happen, just play in mid. Play with your teammates in the mid area of the map. They always have the absolutely highest chances of dying, making some kind of a mistake, or just, getting the first contact with the enemy team. Now listen, when you're resetting the run like this, clear every angle and every position where the enemies can be. Everything needs to be cleared properly. So right now, you should be scaling up with a knife out towards the jet and being ready to refrag this motherfucker. Now we go.
Shadows traveling.
Tower smoke is more important than the city smoke. And yeah, good job there.
Ready yet? No charges.
That fade eye gave me a migraine, bro.
Cover going out.
This teleport that you're doing here is mega dangerous. If your teammates are not scaling out, if you're not teleporting in your jet smoke, and if you don't have any idea where the enemies might be here. You need to be 100% certain that no one can be here, and you need to use this type of a paranoia in order to teleport in this position. Thanks God, this time, no one was on these angles where you could have died. Listen, like, your default postman position on the A side should always be this. Your teammates are fighting tower, we fight tower. Your teammates are fighting CT, we fight CT. Your teammates need help in A short, let's go and help them in A short. Your teammates need help from long, in long, let's go help them long. Play there. Never get stuck under the tower, or God forbid, in this position for some reason. You see, the problem here is, like, if this killjoy picks this fight like an idiot against the enemy jet, like, that's not good, not good. And you need to expect, that your teammates are always gonna make the bad plays in ranked solo queue. Like, in ranked solo queue, you should never expect that your teammates are gonna make the most optimal plays at that moment of time. That's why I'm teaching you, like, to play Valorant like this and to position like this, because if you expect that your teammates are always gonna do the right play, you're not gonna have a fun time in ranked solo queue.
One enemy remaining.
Shadows traveling.
Okay, hunting down this jet, not a bad idea, to be honest, to get that operator. That's not how we use the shrouded steps to reveal the enemies. You need to get out of the smoke. Okay, good hunting. Good hunting. Oh, round number 19, like, what is this fetish, bro, like, with a C-site? Called for a default play for mid, I wanted to break the Cypher camp, then regroup with my team. Okay. I call a default, but due to my team's position, I instead adjusted the call to a C split. If you're doing a C split, always go through the garage with your teammates. And it should be a 2-3 split, like this. Two players go long with the spike, 3 players without the spike go through the garage. Brother, you're trusting 2 of your teammates with a spike to not die on mid, to not die from the door's peak, and to take the garage control.
We're going out.
Peeking the angles like this, without jump spotting them. Crazy motherfucker. Oh, listen. Whenever enemies can play multiple different common angles, off angles, elevated positions, jump spot, reveal the enemies, and then go for a swing. Very good that you died. I mean, you literally jump spotted this angle in almost every single round, and now you don't do it. Why? And if you don't have time to jump spot, because your teammates are gonna run it down, let your teammates peek. If your teammates already wanna die like this, let your teammates peek first, and you peek second, and be ready to refrag them. Because this is an idiotic play. If your teammates just swing like this. Also, one thing that you mentioned here, it's not a bad mindset. It's not a bad mindset. Like, call for a default play for mid, and I wanted to break the Cypher camp, then regroup with the team. My general game attack philosophy, this game was make some pressure somewhere, then regroup, fake to punish their fast rotations. I just think that, in this game, we could have abused A site a lot, because enemies were way too consistent with their positioning, way too repetitive. Also, I think that you could have sold a fake on C and then go A quite easily. Also, split on C would be amazing. And we didn't really use any, we didn't really abuse any of these executes and strategies that actually make sense based on the previous round's information and based on the enemy's team composition.
Snuff them out.
Fuck the sheriff, man. You know, fuck the sheriff on Omen, on Haven, like in these Zeke rounds. Get a bandit with a heavy shield. Much better. Much better. You have money for that. Get a stinger with a light shield and utility. Much better. You know? Especially if, like, what are we doing in this round, number 20? Okay, see fake, go A. I mean, what type of fake is this? Like, if you're faking C site, who should fake right now in your team? Fade and Jet. Fade and Jet. Guys, can you please send it C? Their only job is to send it. And your job is to give them the getter smoke. While you, together with Killjoy and Reyna, are slowly taking space on A site, on timing, and on the sound. And on the contact that your team has made on the C site. With a spike.
Shadows traveling.
Just remember, in rank solo queue, you should never be the one that is faking the site. You should always be the guy that is playing with a spike, taking the space on the opposite part of the map. Because what those type of players do is far more important. Anyone can fake. You know, when you're faking a site, you just need to send it. Take the fights, go in, try to open the space, and try to make that fake as believable as possible. Actually, Killjoy dying here with a spike would be amazing, to be honest. We can literally just pick up the orb in A long and just, you know, this is gonna be an amazing fake, to be honest.
Spike down, C.
Personally, I would not pick the spike right now from the C long. I would only pick up the orb in C long and immediately with a knife out, start rotating A and telling my teammates to take more space on A. And by the time the enemies notice that you have the ultimate in this lobby and that you can pick up the spike, it's all gonna be over already.
Mike.
A risky gun drop, I'm not gonna lie.
Trail.
Cover going out. Shadows traveling.
You had your fun. My turn.
Spike planted.
Here as well, I don't know why you feel so pressured to plant this spike, man. Like, literally, you have 47 seconds to plant the spike. Clove is in the ultimate. Clove is gonna engage your teammates and push out. Let's hold the Clove, kill the Clove, and then plant the spike. Why do you guys feel so pressured to plant the spike, as soon as you end up on the site? If there is already some kind of a pressure from the enemies or some kind of a info that enemies might be swinging at that moment of time and trying to fight your teammates. You can also win the round by killing all of the enemies, especially when you have numbers advantage.
Spike planted. My ultimate is ready.
One enemy remaining.
Get out of my way.
Maybe so it drains the clock faster. Listen, like, when you're playing between gold, when you're playing all the way up to Immortal 2, and especially if you're, like, below Ascendant 1, most of your postplans are not gonna be decided on the clock. They're gonna be decided based on what type of fights you take with your teammates and how you position. Like, 90% of your postplans are gonna be, you know, like that. You should only be pressured to play in the spike when you're in some kind of an economy disadvantage or numbers disadvantage. Then we should really try to play in the spike, you know, ASAP, so that we can actually maybe win on the clock.
Blinding.
I love that you use a blind for this. You know? And then you just peek these angles, like, you know, without jump spotting the enemies. When the enemies can play like here to dodge the blind, they can be here, they can be there, they can be here, here, here. Like, you have no idea what's happening on the C set right now. Yo, that's a big message, bro. Like, this act I have 37%. This act I have 37% win rate with 160 games played. I'm extremely inconsistent and don't know how to fix. I went from 670 rank rating to being 0 rank rating. I really don't know, man. There can be a lot of problems, bro. Like, there can be a lot of problems. Holy shit, man. Like, you really tank down, huh? There can be a lot of things happening. From the agents that you play, how you play them, like what you do, like... How did you get to 670 rank rating? You know? That's the question you should be asking yourself. How did I get to 600? Like, what was I doing that worked before? That would be a first question, obviously. If I'm not planting the spike, I'm getting shouted on, not even talking about situations when I die before that. Brother, if your teammates wanna plant the spike, that much, drop the spike to your teammates and let them plant. You hold a weapon in your hands and be ready to support them and play with them.
Shadows traveling.
Spike down A.
Charges. Shadows traveling.
Spike down A.
Charges.
This is the only round that I would call, you know, bullshit, to be honest. Like, this is the only round in a match that where, like, to be honest, like, no matter what you did here, you would have lost it anyways, to be honest. Like, two of your teammates dying from a sheriff there in that smoke, you know, like, then you getting one tapped like this while playing with a jet. One of those rounds. A bit unlucky that it is this late in the match. But, you know, from your side, everything was pretty decent, to be honest, like. Except the crosshair placement that is just, like, everywhere for some reason, but... Here, you know, like... We're waiting for the ultimate to, you know, be at, like, 4 seconds to use the smokes, 5 seconds. Then we're using the smokes. Nothing to do here, man. Nothing to do here, to be honest.
Spike down A.
Charges.
Really nothing to do here. Like, just one of those rounds that you just need to brush off and pretend that it never happened. Ever. But what, I just feel that in this match, you started complicating the executes and strategies way too early. Like in ranked solo queue, most of the times, like in the first 4 to 6 rounds, you wanna simplify things a bit. You know, you wanna focus more on micro level rather than macro. Like, what are you doing? What type of setups you should do? Should you play aggressively, passively? How can you outplay the enemies based on the info that you have? All of that stuff. But complicating things on a macro level, like you start doing that, like, you know, if your default plays and your micro plays are not working. Like, we should have just tried the clean A executes at least 2 or 3 times in the first 6 rounds. We should have tried C split at least like 1 or 2 times, like then fake C go A at least 1 time. Maybe a B push in some eco round to just see how the enemies are playing on the B side. And if you can maybe open this space and potentially lurk through the garage and find some picks. But brother, we already from the round number 4, we started like calling some shit where you really need to trust your teammates that they're gonna listen to that call out and that they're gonna do a right play.
Everywhere.
I dislike replay system reviews so much. Same. I hate hindsighting, and I hate watching, you know, where the enemies are. Basically, brother, I do a blind VOD review. Then you watch the VOD review, watch the replay, and just see, you know, how many times I was right. That's it. And you'll see how effective is my coaching, essentially. My grandma can use... my grandma can do VOD reviews like this. A bit unnecessary teleport if you don't do it immediately. You know, like, this TP is only useful if you do it immediately as the round starts. So that you're ready to intercept the enemy's like aggressive peek from mid and from the garage as well. But if your teammates bug you a bit, fuck it, then just, you know, get up here, clear the mid, drop down, and let's go.
Going out. Blinding me.
This paranoia doesn't do shit, you know. Who did you blind right now? Like, this paranoia here, you only do when you're like 90% certain that someone is here, or here. But I mean, like, you can just clear these angles with a jump spot, and then use paranoia like this. Take space, check this angle, let's move out. Here, it was 10 times better if you didn't use any paranoia. You use your teammates as a recon drone. If your teammates already want to play, you know, aggressively, and they want to be like like a Sova drone, let your teammates go in front of you if they already don't want to wait for a better paranoia, and for you to use your utility. Like, it's better if you don't use a single ability instead of using some ability that is like pointless, or just that you don't need at that moment of time, or that is not precise.
We're going out.
Anyways, when you're doing the C split, most of the times you really want to save that paranoia for the backside and for these positions. Most of the times, you know, deploying it from the garage and then going out. But okay, because I mean, taking the garage with 3 players should be easy. So like literally 3 players pushing through garage, like, I mean, it's really hard to, you know, to not take a garage control. Plus, you have Fade in the team. Why the fuck Fade is not using a dog to clear the garage? As I already mentioned, like early on in a match, you mainly want to navigate your teammates on a macro level. Basic strategies, basic setups, and then slowly complicating things a bit if the match is getting harder. And when it comes to the micromanagement, you only want to do that like if your teammates are doing something horribly wrong, they really have some fucked up misplaced utility that is really destroying you. and when you need some specific utility to do some play. A callout such as Fate, can you come garage and dog it? Even a silver player can do that. If you repeat 3 times.
Finding me. Cover going out.
I would also be a bit skeptical if I saw this smoke, I'm not gonna lie. It would also throw me off a bit, and I would have probably spent like 2 seconds staring at it as well. But committing to this play, when you have no idea if enemies are actually gonna go for it, is bad. I would have stayed here for maybe like 2 or 3 seconds, clear this right position, fuck it. Let's go. My team still didn't take a site, we didn't kill anybody on the bomb site, there can be like 3 enemies on the site right now. We need to play with our allies. You're holding the drop from the window, while your teammates didn't clear the C site yet, and we have no idea what's happening on the C site. You trust them that much? Let's see, maybe, you know, trust is earned, not given. And also, you know, this is one additional reason why you really don't want to spend in garage so much time. But, okay, we can write this off, like, whatever. But the biggest mistake here was, like, 4 of your teammates are pushing the site. They didn't take an inch of the backside. We have no idea what is happening in this area of the map and how many enemies are here right now. Fuck it. You know? We need to fight on the site. We need to clear the site. And that's it. Like, okay. Enemy Clove did this smoke. It's very good that you held this smoke for like 2 seconds and you clear this position. But once I did this, fuck it, I'm gonna run it down immediately, take the site, and anyways, you are not gonna die. You know? If you play up front to clear the backside. Like, just avoid being in this area of the map. If one of your teammates dies because of this Clove play, it's okay. You know? We don't know if the Clove is gonna go for that play. We don't know when is she gonna go for that play and if she's gonna ever do it. We cannot gamble on what ifs. But what I can gamble on is that 4 of my teammates are pushing the site. They slowed down a lot. They didn't kill anyone here. There can literally be 3 enemies at the backside waiting for them with a full cipher setup. A much better gamble is to support them instead of gambling on some kind of a what-if play. Like, whenever you're not certain if enemies are gonna go for some kind of a play or not, but there is something better for you to do anyways, do that something better. You know, like, when you play with your teammates and fight with your teammates, you will never make a mistake. You know, you're not gonna make a mistake most of the time. When you're taking the space, you're not gonna make a mistake most of the times while you're doing that with your teammates. But wasting your time on these secondary objectives is just a waste. Also, a much better play here would have been, okay, so you saw that Clove is not here. Fuck it. You know, let's try to get in the smoke, clear the full window, and maybe let's be ready to backstab the enemies as they're going for the C retake. If you're already so scared that Clove might be here, take a shorty, get into the smoke like this, clear the right position of the smoke, clear this position, and just wait for the smoke to disappear, and on timing, try to surprise the enemies. But you spending like 10 seconds in the garage, when the enemies can flank you, your teammates can die on sight. We're just wasting our time. And our potential. They won this round! Trust is earned, not given. How did they win it? Oh yeah, L classic 1v1 fights. And enemies didn't play together. Let me see what our friend wrote here. Like, what did the minister write? Wanted to see split because I felt it was easy to get on the side. Asked my jet to go mid. She said no, so I went mid with my... You should go mid! You should go through the garage. If you have two teammates going through garage. You should be the one, you know, on the split. I wanted to lurk afterwards, because my teammates were all side and got catched off guard by the Yoru. As for A push, because we didn't do that in a while, I noticed enemies have more heavy C and we stopped... We should have noticed that enemies have more heavy C a long time ago. Wanted to do a insta short TP to kill the potential pushing short player and ask for a fade off. Cancel though and use to pressure the enemies. Okay. Okay. Let's see the last round. This teleport is fine, but listen. One really good play that you can do in the Amen area of the map with Omen. So, whenever you know that enemies are consistently having someone in A long playing here, or here, tell your teammates to slow down a bit, to wait for you to do the play. Just tell them to hold a short peek. Immediately as the round starts, teleport on the left position and go for this type of a peek. Literally, 3 kills. Like 9 out of 10 times. Especially if an enemy has an obnoxious op player in long. Pick up the op as well. Go for this type of a play. 3 pick, like 10 out of 10 times with the operator. It doesn't get more free than that.
What's this?
Good dog.
Stay silent.
Spike down A.
Shadows traveling. Shadows traveling. Shadows traveling.
A.
Shadows traveling.
What was this smoke for the middle of the site? my guy is an imposter, man. Like he literally gave the enemies a smoke. I was like, wait. Enemies don't have Omen? For a second I was like, what is going on? And then I was like, how we don't have a A tower smoke? Nah. Someone in the enemy team is using the Muda method to rank up. 100%. He's like, can you VOD review this match where I win traded? Thank you very much. Operator Omen, operator on any agent, man. Like, every agent can use every weapon. Whichever weapon and whichever strategy is gonna give you a numbers advantage and make you win a round, you abuse that strategy and that weapon. Period. Good play is always a good play, bad play is always a bad play. Done. The main 2 rules in Valorant.
Shadows traveling.
I love that you use shorty a bit more often, and usually the moments of times when you pull out the shorty was like, okay, very good. very good, very nice. You can learn something, chat.
Watch them run.
I don't know about this you know, the problem of this teleport that you did, of this ultimate, is that enemies can easily hear it if they are in the A-link. Then you commit to this teleport, they can just slow peek you right now, surprise you and kill you. Also, if you wanted to teleport here somewhere, Teleporting towards the A-long would probably be the best idea. To keep your location a secret, keep the flank and lurk through the A-long, and just take a bit more space for this post plant. But okay. Or maybe you could have just used it as a recon tool to reveal the enemy somewhere.
One enemy remaining.
Now we use a Fade Ultimate, huh? We didn't use a Fade Ultimate for like 11 rounds, now we use it. Very good that you keep your location a secret. Cypher doesn't know where you are, bro. Literally, he doesn't know. Very good. Very good. Just once again, you suffer from this problem where a lot of times when you're fighting with your teammates, you're not ready with your body posture, positioning, and crosshair placement to take the fight with your teammates. You already know that Cypher is like on the tower. Jet is holding him. Try to get as fast as possible down here. If Cypher tries to drop, he is dead. If Jet takes some kind of a stupid 1v1 against the Cypher, we can peek out, kill the Cypher, end the game. I mean, okay, like you have this surprise mechanic where Cypher needs to guess hard where are you at this moment of time. But usually when you use the Omen ultimate, on the attacker side, 99% of players are going to pre-assume that you're behind them. And not to mention that Cypher has the ultimate as well. So if the Jet dies, like, this 1v1 can be interesting. Okay. Okay. Muda method was unsuccessful. We're joking, chat, of course, like, who the fuck knows if Muda is win.